Develop a networking database. The first place to start networking is with people who know you well. Make a list of past and present business associates, family and friends, church members, teachers, clients, doctors, attorneys, neighbors, bankers and accountants, insurance and real estate agents, past and present classmates. You can also find contacts at places where you volunteer, such as athletic or country clubs, service organizations, and particularly professional organizations that represent the function in which you want to work. Also check local newspapers for business meetings, trade shows, and conventions and activities that reflect your interest and talent. Finally, prioritize this list starting with those who you believe are most likely to provide useful information. You are now ready to make your first networking call. Making the networking phone call. Few of us are comfortable making phone calls to people we know, and even less so to people we have never met. Doing both is essential to networking success. Here we introduce you to a few techniques to make sure that you make the most of your phone call experience. First, plan your call by going through a great mental rehearsal. Determine what kind of information you will ask your contact for, rehearse what you will say, anticipate what your contact will say in response, as well as what you will say in response to predictable questions and objections. To maximize your success, use a three-step approach. In the opening, begin with a pleasant greeting, identify who referred you, and state your purpose in calling. In the body, summarize your qualifications and request information that will help you in your networking efforts. In closing, ask for further referrals when appropriate, request a face-to-face meeting, and always express appreciation to your contact for taking the time to meet with you. Here is an example of an effective networking telephone statement.
Hello, Bill Williams here.
Hello, Mr. Williams. This is Mary Johnson of Xavier University. Ted Braxton of International Flavors suggested that I call you. I'm pursuing a career in accounting, and Mr. Braxton said that you would have excellent insight into future trends in the public accounting field. And you are also president of your own firm. Do you have a few minutes to talk with me right now, or should I call back later?
You may be asking yourself, why does this format work? First, it is friendly and positive. Second, by using a referral statement, it causes the listener to feel an obligation to help. Third, the caller asks for help that meet two criteria. It is helpful to the caller, and it is a request for ideas the listener can easily fulfill. Fourth, the caller demonstrates courtesy by asking if it is a good time to speak. It also avoids key pitfalls. It does not turn off the contact by saying the speaker is looking for a job. And by not suggesting she is unemployed and is seeking work, it does not provoke difficult questions, such as, how long have you been looking for a position? Were you laid off or fired? Questions like these must be anticipated, but not encouraged, as they can sidetrack you from your main purpose. Now, let's look at an approach to the body of the telephone call.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have an excellent mix of education, experience, and volunteer service. After hearing several speeches from accountants, I decided to become one myself. I supported this goal by majoring in accounting here at Xavier University, where I will be getting my bachelor's degree in May of this year. I've taken 26 hours of specialized accounting courses, and I've also taken courses in finance, marketing, management, and communication. My job experience is highly relevant. I was a research assistant at Merrill Lynch, where I proved that I had the ability to find information from computer databases and explain it to our investment counselors. I am seeking information to help me find a position that will effectively leverage my excellent education and experience. As a professional, what trends and opportunities do you see in these areas? Also, could you think of the accountants you know and tell me who might be the most knowledgeable or have the best networking connections?
Now let's examine why this approach works. First, it summarizes the speaker's qualifications in a positive manner, covering relevant education, experience, and skills. Second, it continues the theme of the call, to ask for information to help in the job search. While it may seem frustrating to not ask if the listener knows of a job, doing so will probably lead to rejection, as the caller may not know of a job and really may not feel he or she knows you well enough to recommend you even if one were available. In closing, ask for referrals and, if appropriate, a one-to-one meeting. Close with a sincere thank you.
Also, could you think of the accountants you know and tell me who might be the most knowledgeable or have the best networking connections?
If I were you, I'd call Bill Jonas. He's the president of our Chamber of Commerce, and he has wide contacts throughout the city and really throughout the state. And I know he'd look forward to talking to somebody who's looking for their first job now in accounting. Let me see if I can find his phone number. It's 513-555-1234.
Thank you very much. Would you mind if I told Mr. Jonas that you referred him to me?
Oh, not at all.
I have learned a lot through our discussion. Ted suggested that we meet to discuss my career paths. Is there any time that would be good for you to meet for about 15 minutes?
How about 8 o'clock next Wednesday morning at my office? Would that be convenient for you?
That's great. I'll record that in my date book right now. I really enjoyed speaking with you today, and I will be sure to follow up with those contacts immediately. Also, if you don't mind, I'd like to send you some copies of my resume so that you and others who are interested can have a permanent reference. If you have any other ideas, please call, fax, or email me. The numbers are in my resume. Thanks a lot, and I appreciate the time you have spent with me today.
I'll look forward to talking to you then.
Thank you very much. I'll see you then. Bye.
Why does this approach work? Well, first, it requests more contacts, which is a key objective of your call. And second, it secures a personal interview. And third, it ends on a gracious note, acknowledging your appreciation of the time and effort the contact expended on your behalf. To wrap up your discussion of the networking phone call, let's review the steps. In the greeting, open courteously, mentioning the name of your reference, stating the purpose of your call, and asking if it is a good time to speak. In the body, communicate your credentials and repeat your purpose in calling. To conclude, ask the contact for additional names and indicate how much you've learned from the conversation. Express your sincere appreciation for the time he or she has taken to speak with you. And be sure to follow up with a sincere thank you letter to the contact.